Today I have Jeremy Olson with me from the Arnegard area, and he's running for the District 26 House seat, and he's been endorsed by that district. And Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. It's a Monday. It's above zero, and it's not a whole lot of wind outside, so it's a great day to be working outside.
Yeah. What made you want to run for District 26 House seat?
Well, I've been in some sort of service most of my life. Starting out as a Cub Scout and all the way up through the Eagle rank. Service has really been a cornerstone of my upbringing. I actually joined the National Guard at age 17 while I was still in high school. And then I graduated from West Point and served as an Army officer. I moved back to North Dakota in 2011 with my family, and I started right away. I stepped into service in our local government as a township officer, as well as serving on county boards and other volunteer activities. So this really gave me a good understanding of the challenges and the needs of the local government and how I might be able to be an asset to our area. So running for District 26 House is really the next step in that service where I can use my talents to serve the public.
If you're elected and you get to Bismarck there at the Capitol, what are some of the things that you can change in the House or Senate?
Well, I think it'd be arrogant of me to think that I can affect a major change in the state legislature as a freshman congressman. The big wheels of government turn slowly, and that's a good thing. Change comes in incrementally through collaboration, communication, and yes, compromise. Our U.S. and our state constitution is not meant to be quick or efficient. In fact, it's designed to be the opposite of efficient. That way, no one group or interest, whether it be liberal or conservative, can take over and make sweeping changes in a short amount of time. Very rarely does good change come from an emotional outburst or a social trend. Our founders designed it that way. That being said, my priority is to continue to push for equitable infrastructure funding for the energy producing counties that bear the burden of creating much of the North Dakota's wealth through oil and gas production. This area experienced the highest growth rate in the country over the last decade, and our infrastructure, housing, and educational needs must keep up with that increased demand.
With your background in engineering and working in the energy industry, what are some of the unique things or specific things you'd like to help change in North Dakota?
Well, as someone who has yet to sit on the House chamber as a representative, it'd really be arrogant of me to think that I'm going to affect significant changes right away. So I believe that with my education in engineering, along with an MBA, will be beneficial to the detail-oriented aspects of budgeting and accountability in the state's business. Details matter, and small details that slip through the cracks can have unintended consequences if not caught early in the process. A bad bill passed can be more harmful than a bill that's not passed. So to that effect, building relationships with my peers and promoting a teamwork environment would be the best way to move forward.
Jeremy, what's something you want the voters in District 26 to know about you?
So I'm a Western North Dakota native. My family farmed here for several generations. Again, growing up in an agriculture community gave me the appreciation for hard work, personal integrity, and an appreciation for our natural resources. My career in the energy industry prepared me with the knowledge of how the energy industry can work collaboratively with its community for mutual benefit. My involvement in the community through service in church, on local government boards, athletics, conservation programs, and veteran causes demonstrates what I have done for this community already, not what I claim that I will do in the future.
Jeremy, with your history, you've been around the world with the military. You've been around the country. how is that going to help you focus on North Dakota issues versus national issues?
Well, as a military officer, as well as a leader outside of the military, I've learned that you do not only lead down, but you can also lead across and you can lead up. On a national level, there's not a whole lot an individual can change. However, on the local level, whether it be city, county, or state, you can lead up to the national level. And an individual can make a difference. Just in my hometown, the last mayoral election was not decided until all the absentee ballots were counted. It was even on election day. The last county commissioner race had a mandatory recount because it had such a narrow margin. So at the local level, a one vote, one voice can and does make a difference. So when enough of the state governments align, they can lead up to the national level. That's the great thing about the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. Uh, and I quote, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved for the states, respectively, or to the people. That amendment is powerful enough to affect change on the national level if we as states are bold enough to exercise it together.
On your website and your news releases you put out, you one of the things you brought up was the infrastructure in Western North Dakota. What are some of the things that you're going to fight for changing and helping the constituents of your area?
Oh yeah, I think it'd be arrogant to think that I could affect change as a freshman congressman, but my priority is being the energy capital of the state, and a lot of aspects, one of the national uh, capitals of energy is we bear the burden, the uh, we pay the price in infrastructure um, um, when it falters to sustain this treasure that we're creating in Western North Dakota for the state. And one of the things we have to do is we have to be able uh, be able to fund so we can keep our infrastructure not only at a sustainable level but at a growth level. Just think about the uh, 15 years ago. What kind of highways did we have? There are 2 lanes. Now we've had to expand our lanes. We had to widen them out. We've had to put bypasses around cities. These are the things that we need to continue to sustain in order to continue to be able to produce this energy that's creating the wealth for North Dakota. And that's one of the things that I'm as a high priority for me is to make sure that that funding is there to sustain us.
One of the things that on your website you talk about having a background in energy and the importance of farming. Is it possible to balance those two things out in Western North Dakota?
Yes, you know, agriculture is and it will always be the bedrock or the foundation of North Dakota's economy. Um, Energy is here. Energy is a significant player, but agriculture is the bedrock, and we need to make sure that as we are growing our energy, our commercial, and our industrial industries, we have a commitment to preserve and protect the agricultural economy as well. Because again, um, coal, it was a big boom and it faltered off. Um, Oil has had several ups, several downs, but in that all that time in our history, agriculture has always been the steady state. It's always been a constant, and we cannot um, let that falter in order to prop up one industry over another.
Anything else you want to add?
Just that the best source to get a hold of me is through my Facebook page, Jeremy Olson for state representative. I also have a website of my background and priorities at jeremyolsonnd.com. That has my contact information. I've kind of adopted the policy of not responding to questions by social media posts. So if you'd like to ask me something specific, email or phone is the best way. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the time to meet with me today, Jeremy, and good luck on the campaign trail.
Thank you, Jeremy.